The stage is yours.
Thank you so much for the invitation to speak about creativity. It is important to stimulate and facilitate creativity, as creativity is always at the forefront of change. For more than 20 years, the creatives here of our agency Neutral have been collaborating with top artists, architects, designers, fashion designers, and scientists. We really must facilitate these connections between different worlds to make art and culture accessible for many people, to democratize the cultural experience that before was only possible in the museum or in the gallery space. And one way to democratize art and to celebrate creativity is to bring it into the world of communication and advertising, where it will be encountered by many people. So one of our heroes are the artists, for example, John Latham and Barbara Steveni. In the late 60s in London, they founded the Artist Placement Group, APG, born from the idea that artists are a human resource underused by society. So artists are isolated and shielded from the real world. APG's goal was to install an artist on the board of every company in order to inspire new ideas and an outsider view into the company. And this is what we also today work on with many clients. We always love this idea of bringing in an artist directly into the company and ultimately making the company more successful through creativity. So I would need the presentation. So basically what I did for this presentation today, I went back into our archive, the archive of Neutral, and found our first business cards with a mantra of 7 rules. We have always loved this idea of rules and how the rigidity of rules is both restrictive and also fun. We called these rules extended total look, which was appropriated from the world of fashion journalism. What we like about fashion journalism is the radicality of the expressions. So extended total look refers to a commitment. It's not just a look, it's not just a total look, but it's an extended total look. So rule number 1, promote the now idea. In our business, the business of communication, the knowledge of the now is important and the idea is important. So this is a series I'm going to show you of sculptures by Swiss artist Sylvie Fleury. The legs seem to be part of a mannequin. This is actually another work. I'll go straight to what I'm speaking about. The legs seem to be part of a mannequin and are sprayed with a special luminous car paint, bringing together the cult of fashion and the cult of car culture, creating really one hyper desire machine combined with actual high fashion. Here you see a cape by Comme des Garçons, if I remember correctly. So legs also play, of course, an important part in modern art. Robert Gober's man legs coming out of the wall, for example. Sylvie's work has always been about creating this desire through different value systems, modern art, fashion, design, car culture, basically mixing it all up. If I just go back 1 or 2 slides, exactly. We see here a collaboration we did this year between Sylvie Fleury and Porsche. In Basel this year. So the car itself is a fully electronic Porsche Taycan. I'll just show you what the car in the booth looks like. And for the presentation, we hired a stylist to create a special makeup for the car to make it pretty as if it just drove through a puddle of mud. Of course, it would have been much easier to actually drive through a puddle of mud, but this is the way it goes sometimes when working with a car brand. So rule number 2, all spectators must be performers. This rule is about participation and about immediatism, which was defined once by Hakim Bey. Immediatism is not a movement in the sense of an aesthetic program. It depends on situation, not style or content, message or school. It may take the form of any kind of creative play, which can be performed by two or more people, by and for themselves, face to face and together. In this sense, it's like a game and therefore certain rules may apply. So going forward, what you see here is a performance by artist Ai Weiwei in his studio in Berlin. He is actually modeling security jackets by Hornbach and demonstrates how they can be interlocked to form a new kind of soft sculpture, which is also wearable. We filmed the performance for the TV spot and the documentary we produced for the campaign for Hornbach, the European do-it-yourself retailer. So you can see him now putting on the jacket and basically interlocking two jackets together to make a sculpture. The campaign itself was all about museum-scale sculptures that everybody can build themselves with material purchased at Hornbach. A contribution really to the democratization of art, an idea which Ai Weiwei loved a lot. He has exhibited in the most important museums worldwide, but he is more interested to produce work which speaks to an extended public, which speaks basically to everybody. So this is empowerment of everybody through creativity. So we still see a little bit of the modeling, looking fantastic in the security jackets by Hornbach. So coming to rule number 3, revolt into style. This rule is all about radical chic, as it was once defined by Tom Wolfe. Here we have Gilbert and George, the fabulous iconic pop artists. In a recent conversation we organized for a client project, they spoke about their early days in London. So they said, every other artist was doing art that ordinary people could not understand, art only for the elitist few. And we thought we would be able to speak to everyone, and that became the art for all slogan to us. So speaking about style, Gilbert and George are known for their suits. In the same conversation, they were also asked why they wear suits every single day. Their answer, it's very simple and very complicated. We wrote it down in one of our first little booklets from 1971. Every day we have to put on our responsibility suits. That's it. It's also very much in the spirit of art for all. It doesn't alienate people anywhere in the world. It's very good because everybody recognizes us from far. It's a symbol, Gilbert and George walking in the streets of London, but sometimes it does not work completely because when we stayed in the south of France, we stayed in a very big hotel and everybody thought we were the waiters. Perfect. So number 4, try repeating a single motive. In our continued search to detect creativity, I would like to quote Hans-Ulrich Obrist. He is the artistic director of the Serpentine Galleries and according to many ratings, the most important curator of the world. We love working with Hans-Ulrich. Hans-Ulrich has many rules, rituals, and daily repetitions. For example, he buys a book every day. Another ritual is the night train, to take the train throughout Europe and work on the train, or reading Edouard Glissant every morning. Glissant very early on understood that the homogenizing forces are at stake also in the world of culture, and that this is not the first time we experience globalization, but it is suddenly, without a doubt, the most vehement moment of globalization we have experienced. So in order to counter the disappearance of cultural phenomena, such as handwriting, Obrist dedicated his Instagram account to doodling and handwriting. So every day he posts a handwritten note by an artist, collected in his numerous studio visits and encounters with creatives all over the world. It's basically a protest against the disappearance of handwriting. So another repetitive project of Hans you can find on TikTok. In every interview he conducts, he asks, what is your unrealized project? On TikTok, he takes this ritual to the next level by asking animals this very question. So let's see if this works.
Can you tell me about your unrealized project?
Unfortunately, I cannot see my presentation anymore. but I heard it. So let's go to the next one.
Hello, good morning. Can you tell me about your unrealized project? Can you tell me about your unrealized project? Hello. Can you tell me about your unrealized project?
So I love hearing Hans's voice. Unfortunately, I cannot see my presentation. So rule number 5 is define temporary autonomous zones. Here, I would like to bring in Demna Gvasalia. And you should now probably see the start of a fashion show. Demna is really one of the great creatives of today. He's the creative director of the fashion brand Balenciaga and really on a mission to change the rules. He is merging the world of haute couture with the world of streetwear and perpetually on the hunt for the new in a kind of Warholian way. His clothes are a reflection of what is happening in the world, sociologically and politically, addressing diversity, difference, fame, fake, all while bringing in new volumes and making new connections. I'm sure many of you also saw the Simpsons film that he produced for the last presentation for next autumn's collection in Paris, which was a super fabulous event bringing together many different topics. And of course, it was super fun.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perce sur sa bouche.
Now
Voilà
I
le portrait
hear
sans
something.
retouche de
So
l'homme
what we
auquel
see here
j'appartiens.
is the clones collection for the Balenciaga clones collection for spring 2022. This was an online presentation featuring the same model over and over again, artist Eliza Douglas, who works a lot with them now. So it's really about original and copy, fake and super fake, reproduction, same, etc. So coming to rule number 6, envision your knowledge. This is a short one. This is all about art as a translator, and art can really help to understand technology. This is a work by artist Refik Anadol, who runs a studio and a research laboratory in Los Angeles. This work we're probably seeing here, I cannot see it on my screen, is a work titled Melting Memories. And it's about the materiality of remembering. It offers new insights into the representational possibilities emerging from the intersections of advanced technology and contemporary art. So really these are aesthetic interpretations of motor movements inside a human brain, and Anadol works together with the Neuroscape Laboratory at the University of California in San Francisco to make this happen. So really here the idea art as a translator, which of course also involves creativity, and it's about envisioning your knowledge. So I'm not sure if you can also see rule number 7 now, enhance your life. This is a little bit more difficult for me if I see nothing, but so how can you enhance your life? The answer is with architecture. Architecture is really a happiness machine, and at our agency we work a lot together with architects. To live in great architecture is really everything. This is a project now that you probably see, which is a project by my partner, Rudolf Schürmann, who is the creative director of Neutral, a project he is developing together with the great Swiss architect Valerio Olgiati. The plot of land is in Arni, a place with just 80 inhabitants, which you can only reach in winter by a funiculade, an aerial cableway. It is located in the middle of Switzerland in Uri and surrounded by beautiful mountains. So there's 3 identical concrete houses in the sizes S, M, and L, each one centered around a pyramid with curated views out into the amazing landscape. The houses are conceived as studio houses for living and working. So again, quite difficult for me to see what you see at the moment. There's one other architectural project I would like to show you. It's a house created by Milan office, Armature Global. It's called Schürmann House. It's a new spatial protocol for Rudolf leading to an amorph shape dictated by functionality and beauty, implemented privacy meets image consumption. So I would like to end with a quote by Corbusier, which hopefully is still valid today. He said, "The present moment is creative creating with an unheard of intensity. So I hope we can reinstigate and relive and revalue this quote by Corbusier. So thank you so much for listening, and it was great to be part of this festival. Thank you.